Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of the Jamf After Dark podcast, a podcast to introduce you to the excellent people of Jamf and to keep you up to date with what is new and exciting with managing Apple devices. Today, we're going to talk about all the work that goes into getting ready for Apple's yearly operating system releases. I'm your co-host, Kat Garbus, and I'm joined by my other co-host, Katie English, and our guest today, Vice President of Software Engineering, Jennifer Briggs.
Hello, Jamf After Dark listeners, and so glad to have you with us, Jennifer. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Katie. I am so excited to be here.
Yay.
So tell us a little bit about how you came to Jamf and about the teams you lead.
Yes, so I joined Jamf probably about 2 years ago. Historically, I've been a part of large financial service organizations, and I was really looking for an opportunity to get closer to tech, to be able to partner more on decisions. And that's what really led me to Jamf. And I could not be more excited to be here. I also feel really lucky because I am leading the Jamf Pro teams and the Jamf Protect teams, which are just a great group of engineers and individuals that make working at Jamf here just even more than I could expect.
Excellent. So you're coming from financial services. Jamf's a little different. We definitely lean really hard into the Apple fan stereotypes at Jamf, and usually we're pretty unashamed about that. So even if that's not your career identity leading up to this point, is there anything you want to talk about in regard to your own Apple technology and inclinations, or do you just secretly harbor a deep hatred of Keynote?
It's like you've heard me talking before, Katie. I think I was an Apple fan, maybe, but not admittedly more so now that I'm at Jamf, right? It's something I think that makes it more fun to work here. The enthusiasm that Jamfs have for Apple and for our customers, it's just really refreshing. It's fun and it ties into the work that we do, which is awesome. But yeah, I do not like Keynote, and it's not even a secret. Everyone tells me the more and more I work at it, the more easy it will be to work with. But I am not a fan. I am PowerPoint all the way. I probably shouldn't admit that, but the secret is now out. But no, I love the Apple fan stereotypes around Jamf. I think it adds to the fun of working here.
It's definitely unique at Jamf, just that most organizations, most enterprises really do just embrace the Microsoft tool set, and we sometimes just don't. So yeah, it makes things a little interesting around here. This time of year, everybody in Apple land is super excited about WWDC, and all of our teams, of course, the ones that you already mentioned that you lead, we're heads down working on enabling new features to meet the upcoming fall release. At Jamf, we're kind of thinking about WWDC kind of all year long. So what does that look like for your teams?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is such an interesting, stressful, exciting time of the year. There really is a lot of anticipation that goes up until WWDC. It doesn't just start, it is an all-year activity. So there's a lot of planning that does go into WWDC and the work that we do to support that. But on top of that, I know our engineering and product teams are also trying to figure out, along with WWDC, how do we continue to deliver all of our critical work? So whether that's new features, customer support escalations, process changes, all of that collaboration and prioritization that is going to keep that work going, as well as the WWDC work, is really just an amazing event that it all comes together. So it is definitely a fun time of year, but it can be a little chaotic. But usually it all works out and great things come out of all of the work that the teams do. But it really does tie back to all of that collaboration and communication that happens across all of our teams. We wouldn't be successful without the work that they do.
Speaking of the teams and the work that they do, it sounds like, there are teams spread all over the world these days, which is really cool, but it definitely introduces some challenges for technical collaboration for our developers, I'd imagine. Can you talk us through the kind of day that starts at 3 a.m. on another continent?
Right. It's so early when you think about that, but yet it's someone's normal day, which is just awesome that we have so many great teams, in so many different places. I feel very, very fortunate to work in an organization that has this kind of team camaraderie around the world. Technical collaboration, though, across these teams really does tie to communication. And I think just in general at Jamf, we continue to look for ways to improve our communication no matter where we live. But when you tie it back directly to technical collaboration, there is a little bit more complexity that does tie into that. So, we are trying to align on processes across our engineering teams, making sure that everyone's kind of doing some things the same way. So we have some consistency and we know what to expect. We are improving in our technical documentation so we can have appropriate handoffs. So it's very feasible that if there is something that's going on, one of our teams, let's say, for example, in Poland, could start the work. And then it can go move over to a US team, and then maybe a Poland team will pick it up later. It doesn't always work out that way, but we do have those opportunities, which is just a great way for our teams to not only collaborate together, but also to bring that value to our customers. So it does make from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time very busy, because that's the time when all of our teams have the opportunity to connect and have those conversations. But I think teams enjoy working together. And I really am amazed at how well people do work together and really want to help each other out no matter what team you're on.
I have been an accessory to a few of those opportunities where it starts in Poland, picks up in the US, and then ends up back in Poland. And those handoffs are extraordinary to watch. So the amount of coordination that's involved is kind of staggering. It's pretty cool. And along those lines, I do know exactly how hard our teams work because I've watched them for years now, season by season, WWDC by WWDC. And I know it's a tough job to do. So how do you, as an engineering leader at Jamf, motivate those brains year over year, season by season?
Well, and I've only had the opportunity to be through 2 WWDCs. We're going on my third one. And, the reality of is these teams really motivate me. I am really inspired by the examples of partnership that I see, how teams are just willing to step up and help each other without even asking. This collaboration just seems to happen. I mean, it's essentially just people helping people and doing what's right for Jamf and what's right for our customers. It's just amazing. You start to see teams become less siloed and coming together, especially during these really difficult times. And it's truly inspiring. So I give thanks to all of the teams and how they partner together, because doing this year after year, knowing that it's such a busy time coming up, knowing how much work is ahead of us is a bit daunting, but everyone just jumps right in and tackles it. And it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So engineers are smart. That is a blanket true statement. They have these great ideas and they have strong opinions about how to solve problems. But sometimes those great ideas might conflict with each other. And sometimes those incredibly capable people actually end up disagreeing. So how do you start to broker those kinds of difficult conversations, those potential disagreements?
Yeah, there definitely are a lot of great ideas. That is definitely the truth. And, to be honest, it's very rare that we would have a situation where anything would probably need to be officially brokered. And really, if you think about it, it's okay to disagree, because I think we really all have good intent with our opinions or with our ideas. So there may not necessarily be a right or a wrong. It just may be a more better this time or that one next time. And really, we don't want to filter those great ideas, because there are so many different ways that we can solve problems or tackle challenges, and, recognizing those opportunities. But as an example, David Patel has a saying that we all kind of live by, which is, it's safe enough to try. So really, this is just giving us the permission to be able to make a decision and move forward and adjust as needed. And so really recognizing that we don't have to all agree, because you're right, there are so many smart people here, and all of those great ideas, they really can lead to new ideas too. Brokering those kind of situations doesn't happen too often.
I'm going to change gears a little bit. So let's say I'm thinking, I would love to be an engineer at Jamf. Do I have to learn Java? What would make me successful? And I guess, does every engineer need to have a super techie coding background? Or are there different types of engineer roles?
Yeah, well, so technical skills do help. I will admit that they do come in handy. But really being part of a successful engineering team, there is so much more to that. Our teams do have engineers on them, but we are lucky to have people on our teams who are focused on testing, making sure that we're delivering quality. We have scrum masters who are aligning our teams and aligning our work. We have people who are partner teams who are working with us, our PMs, our PO organization, our technical writers. All of these roles really contribute to the success of a team. So you think about those characteristics. Yes, technical skills are definitely a benefit, but we also are looking for people who like problem solving, who are just naturally curious. We like people who are effective communicators, who are positive, have a good attitude, and aren't really afraid to try new things. All of those are skills that are incredibly important and really balance each other out to lead to develop productive engineering teams.
I appreciate that answer. Thank you. And it's not all coding and testing and Q&A from my understanding. Would you say that's pretty fair?
Right. Once in a while, we do have some fun too. There's some hackathons that happen. I would actually love to see more of those. Recently, we have moved to SAFE, which gives us an IP iteration at the end of each PI that allows for innovation, allows for hackathons, allows for game day experiences, allows for different ways to innovate and kind of dive into different technical topics, such as doing proof of concepts. Jamf has a great program called Jamf Time, which really allows for engineers to dig into ideas or concepts, to be able to partner with others and just take a couple days to learn and to be able to innovate on new ideas. I mean, as Katie said earlier, we have a lot of smart people here with a lot of great ideas, and finding the opportunity to be able to share those ideas and to be able to kind of dig in and communicate what we can do to continue to get better. These are all awesome experiences for our teams.
Cool. And you made a reference to something called SAFE, which is Scaled Agile Framework for Enterprise. And it bakes in the idea of innovation, which might feel a little strange on the tin, right? But it guarantees that our teams actually have time to do that sort of big thinking, which continues to add value to our product and ultimately for our customers as well, which is super cool. So what would you say is just straight up the best part of your job? What's the thing that wakes you up every morning?
It's the people I work with. We have really great people here at Jamf. Now I'm going to have no words because the people here are really amazing. I feel so fortunate to be able to work here with people who treat each other with respect, who are wanting to do the right thing, who are invested in our customer, who want to help each other out, and who are just fun to be with and just nice to talk to. We really have some great Jamfs here, and I find it very rewarding to be a part of the Jamf team. And I just feel very fortunate that I get to work with the people here every day. It makes my job great.
We always like to end the podcast with a fun question. So we've had hackathons, we've had team events. What is the coolest non-technical thing you've been able to do with your coworkers here at Jamf?
So I joined during the pandemic. There have been lots of Zoom team lunches. I have played more online games, escape rooms, that I even knew existed out there. I did not realize how horrible at trivia I am. So you do learn a lot of things about yourself, which has all been fun because it's getting the opportunity to be able to meet and connect with people just on a non-work level, because that's awesome. And now we're starting to go into offices and I'm able to meet people in person, which is wonderful. I'm going to have the opportunity to travel to Poland next week to be able to meet the teams in Poland. I couldn't be more excited. My suitcase is halfway packed. So I really look forward to being able to do even more non-technical cool things with Jamfs as we go forward, because I've heard of so many things in the past that people have been able to do together. But really just being able to meet people in any forum has made working here at Jamf just such a wonderful experience for me.
You mentioned your suitcase is halfway packed, and I tend to do yoga. So I think I could fit in the other half of your suitcase on the way to Poland. So I would love to just kind of hop along and, you do your thing. I might just go try a bunch of pierogies and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there.
I think that sounds like a great plan. I'll Slack you my address and come on by.
Okay, but no joke. Our Polish coworkers offer some excellent cooking classes, and I think pierogies are on the menu. So there you go.
I love trying new foods. So I am hoping that I try a lot of things that I don't even know what they are until I'm done eating, just to have that experience. I'm excited.
Hey, Kat, what's been your best non-technical Jamf experience?
Oh, I really should have thought about this question more and I didn't. But I've had some like fun moments. I had done some partner trainings and then, went off to Red Rocks with some coworkers. Tim Knox and I, we had done some traveling together pre-pandemic, like some mini road shows in the US. And, we ended up in Miami. There might have been a shark. We'll never know at the ocean. So, there's just some fun, I think more like travel like adventures since I was on the road a lot pre-pandemic. And then Jennifer, you mentioned escape rooms. I love escape rooms. I love puzzle solving. So I've done a few of those. And my favorite one that I had done with the Alliances team, we were down to the seconds. We solved it and they were so confident we weren't going to solve it. We had 3 seconds left on the clock and they were all holding the sign saying, sorry, better luck next time. And then they flipped the signs around because we all had just made it out with literally 3 seconds left on the clock.
I'm imagining escape rooms with engineers would be a lot of fun because.
What about you, Katie? What's the coolest non-technical thing that you've done?
I think my favorite was a volunteer time off event that we got to do at the Wildcat Sanctuary outside Minneapolis. I guess it's Facebook famous. They appear regularly with live videos and things, but got to do some heavy lifting, literally heavy lifting, picking stuff up in the middle of July. And we were working in an area where a lion lives and was unhappy about us being in her space. Hopefully by the end of the day, we had fixed up some fencing and everything, and hopefully she was a lot happier with her space. So that was super cool. Is there anything else that you wanted to chat through, Jennifer? Any other thing you want to brag about for your team?
You know what? I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you to all of the engineering teams, the product teams, all of our partner teams. I just really appreciate all of the effort that people have been putting in. And I think Jamf is really fortunate to be able to work with the people that we get to work with. So thanks so much to everyone.
Well, on that note, Jennifer, thank you for joining us and chatting today. And thanks to all of our listeners for tuning in to the Jamf After Dark podcast. If you'd like to send us fan mail and tell us about how every operating system that isn't Snow Leopard has been a disappointment, please drop us a note at podcast@jamf.com. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next time.